Hello, how are you? Back again, to discuss a good topic. Lord, yes, discuss a good topic. Anything I say, I pray that it touches your heart, but not just your heart, your soul. Let's go. Hello, again. um, my topic for today, affirmation, declaration, whatever you want to call it. Um, Crying helps, but can also block. And think about that. Ponder on that for a minute because when you think about it, crying does help, but it also block. It can help you release things, but can block you from getting things. Yes, that's what crying can do. Um, let's break it down. Some people cry for attention. Some people cry for attention. I'm gonna get into that. Um, some people cry because they're hurt. Some people don't cry because it makes them look weak. Yes. As you know, we all have cried at some point in our life. At some point in our life, mainly baby probably, but we have all cried. Um, but it's not just as a baby, but in our lifespan from baby up, if that makes sense to you. Um, there's a reason how crying helps. Crying helps. Crying helps at times because it helps you let out any suppressed feelings that you have been feeling, and you've been trying to be strong and not let that out because you feel, like I mentioned, you feel weak. But when you let it all out in a cry, it's like a weight has lifted off of you when you cry. That makes sense to you. Um, Crying, just because you're crying, it does not always mean you are sad. No. You're gonna break that little whatever stigma, whatever. Um, just because you're crying does not mean you're sad. You ever heard of crying tears of joy? That's how some people cry. Some people cry because they're happy, and that's just a form of showing their happiness because they're crying, and crying lets that out. Crying releases that joy, that happiness at times. So don't just think when people cry, they are sad. Okay? You got that? Do you got that? Do you got that? Okay, let's get into how crying blocks you. Crying blocks you at times because it is perceived that you are a baby, you're judged as a baby because you're always crying over any and everything, and you will never be taken seriously because you see crying as a way to get things done or crying as a way to get your way. Nah, bruh. Not at all. Um, so I'm getting to how crying was a part of me heavily. Okay. Okay. Crying for me. Um, I was a crybaby. Put it like that. Put it all out on the table. I was a cry baby. Um, I cried because I didn't get my way, and this wasn't when I was a kid. This was when I was 18 and up doing this. Like, I'm just going to be completely honest. I was doing this 18 and up in my 20s, crying because I didn't get my way. Um, I cried to make people feel sorry for me, which is crying for attention. Um, I thought because I'm crying, it was a sign of strength, but it's not. And how I was crying, it wasn't a sign of strength, none whatsoever. So, in the consequences of me crying, um, people didn't take me seriously. People saw me as a child, so they didn't take me seriously as an adult, which I was. But because I was crying, I was perceived as a child, and sometimes I was um, treated like a child. Yeah, that feeling was not right. But the reason why I cried, it was like as a way of escape. Crying for me was a way of escape because one, I'm not a person of confrontation, so I thought me crying will stop people from trying to confront me on whatever they think I needed to be confronted about. And yeah, it wasn't it wasn't right, but it was at the time I felt that I needed to do it. I felt because I wanted people out in my face, so I thought crying would help that. Um, and at times it did. It made people even more mad, and at that time I didn't care. Yeah, I didn't care. I'm just gonna be honest because I was focused on me. I was focused on my feelings. I was in my feelings, and I was not willing to talk it out as a grown up should. And I wasn't. I wasn't a real grown up in early 20s, mid 20s. Mm-mm. And the reason for that, because I was so dependent on people. And I thought nothing wrong of depending on people. So I thought that if I cried like I'm a child, they'll leave me alone about certain things. And it worked at times, but at times it didn't. Just made them more mad about the situation, made them more mad about the subject. And say it again, I didn't care. Um, yeah, but I didn't care at all. And that's how crying has blocked me. Crying has blocked me from achieving things that I should have been achieving. Crying stopped me from really being bold, really being confident in what I say I want to do, what I say I'm going to do, but because I am crying, I it was it stopped me, and it stopped me from really, oh yes, it stopped me from really connecting to people that I should connect to, that I'm supposed to connect to, because they saw me crying. It scared them away in a way. So yeah, because I was crying. It drove them away. No, it drove the people that I was so-called connected to away because I was crying all the time, and they was like, "Why is she crying? Ain't she grown?" So crying in that way, that's how crying has blocked me from so many things. But it's not going to anymore because it don't anymore. Do I have times I get in my feelings? Yes, but it's not how it used to be. And I thank God for that. And now crying helps me. I think the most I cry is in church during worship, and that helps me release things. That's how crying helps. So you have a choice to how crying will help you, how crying is going to help you. You no, back that up. You have a choice of how you're going to use crying. Are you going to use it to help you, or is it going to be used to block you from things? So think about that. Have you used crying to help, or have you used crying to block? Crying to help or crying to block? So that is the positive and the negative outcomes of crying. But I choose to do the positive outcome, which is helping me. So I can't, it ain't gonna block me no more. You know, we ain't gonna block, block, block. So I've cried my last tear. I'm gonna be alright. Alright. But yeah, so tell me, in my journey to freedom, real freedom. You feel me? All right, pray you blessed.